it's just a very floral, powdery, feminine scent in general. So we'll get into that soon. This is definitely my type of, this is like a newer scent interest for me, this type of profile, like floral, powdery, more vintage leaning. I definitely wouldn't have preferred this a few years ago, but I do really appreciate it now. So anyway, I'm going to review that today. Let me get my little cards out to spray. And yeah, I was wearing this dress today, which is why I decided to review this, because this dress has a lot of flowers on it. It's blue. This is, I don't know, I think of like pinks and purples, but anyway, I guess there's purple on here as well, and pink. And then I've got these clay flower earrings, because yeah, this is just bursting with florals, this scent. J-Scent is a Japanese brand. So yeah, but you can find their fragrances online, like definitely there's a lot of them on eBay and stuff like that. So the backstory behind this scent is this scent is supposed to represent the geisha districts or district in Japan, which I think there's a lot of like floral trees, and it just smells like in full bloom. So that's the inspiration behind this scent. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a spray. I've got my Flower Fairies cards here. This one is, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what flower that is actually. Okay, I'm gonna spray it and give it a minute to dry down. But as you can see, for the packaging, it actually does list the notes on the backside of the bottle. So I'll just go ahead and read the notes off the backside. It lists them on Fragrantica as well, but I'll just read them off here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and smell this. Oh, it's so pretty. I really like it, but I do not think it's necessarily mass appealing because it's so floral, and a lot of people don't want to smell so floral. It does smell a bit vintage too. Like some people might think this is like, you know, mature or like a grandma type fragrance. But I really like it. So yeah, that's mainly what I get is like floral powdery, a little bit fresh. There's like a bit of a fruity quality, but it's like very floral powdery, makeup powder, powder puff, that type of vibe. Okay, so for our top notes, we've got 3 top notes. They are lemon, bergamot, and ylang ylang. So some citrus as well as ylang ylang. So I think the citrus in here comes through just subtly, adding a bit of freshness and brightness, but nothing super obvious. It's not like a freshie, you know. And the ylang ylang to me is not a standout, but I guess it makes sense, you know, within the context of all the other florals. But this does not smell tropical floral to me. It really does smell more like purple florals, rose, white floral, that type of thing. Okay, blossom leaf and peach. So agarwood, that is also known as oud, definitely a more heavy, dense, woody note. I'm not getting that in an obvious way. It probably just adds a nice subtlety to the base, but it's not at all woody, like super woody, or dense or deep. Okay, vanilla, I would say I get just like a little bit of sweetness from that, but it's really mostly a floral scent. But I could see the vanilla in the background just adding a nice rounding it out. Musk, yeah, I could see the musk. It comes through definitely smelling more so like powdery with everything. So like I guess like a powdery musk, if that's a thing. Cherry blossom leaf. I'm not really sure. Maybe that's supposed to smell kind of green or floral. So I'm not totally sure about that one. Then there's a note of peach, and I do feel like I get the peach note. It adds like a fruity juiciness. It's not like super fruit forward, but it definitely is there. So you've got all those like soft, powdery florals, and then you've got like a little bit of freshness from this citruses up top. Pairs really nicely with the peach fruity note in the base. Touches of vanilla, musk, that's kind of, yeah, what I'm getting from this fragrance. I did mention in one video, or I think at least one or two videos I did, that this fragrance to me smells very, very similar to Chanel's Misia, or perhaps it's pronounced Misha, I'm not sure, spelled M-I-S-I-A. It is from their L'Exclusive line, so it's their expensive line, but you can find that, like, if you go to Nordstrom, or perhaps even like Macy's, I don't know, you might be able to smell in store Misia, and yeah, it smells to me very similar to this. It has very similar notes as well. It has like the violet, the rose, the peach, vanilla, powdery notes instead of well, it does have peach, but it also has raspberry and lychee and aldehydes. So anyway, to me they smell extremely similar, but I've never like worn the Chanel one to really know how like it changes over time or things like that. I just smelled it out of a tester. People also are comparing this fragrance on Fragrantica to Frederic Mall's Lipstick Rose, which I do have a sample of Lipstick Rose, and it does smell pretty similar to that, but I do think it smells even more similar to Chanel's Misha from their L'Exclusive line. But yeah, it's a very like lipsticky, girly, fruity, floral fruity, powdery type of scent. Yeah, like it's just really fun, just happy. It makes me happy to smell. Okay, what else? I'll go ahead and I'll tell you on Fragrantica what notes people are getting most prominently. They say they're getting mostly violet, then iris, then heliotrope, then ylang ylang, cherry tree, then peach. So definitely heavy on the purple florals. I guess if I had to say, I would also say I'm mostly, the note that I get most is violet, but it's hard to say. But yeah, I definitely am familiar with what violet smells like after doing like a deep dive on it. And this does definitely have a violet smell coming through. Really pretty. Just pretty sweet, girly, light floral kind of smell. It's really nice. So yeah, let's go over just some other info on Fragrantica before we close up this review. smelled just like a couple others, but I did a review on Jason's Sumo Wrestler, which I personally didn't like that one for my own taste, but I can appreciate the like craftsmanship or the artistry behind it. People are saying that this has like mid-range, decent longevity on Fragrantica, which personally I find the longevity to not be very good for this fragrance. So much so that usually I just wind up reapplying after an hour or two at home. I'll give myself a few more sprays. So I don't think it has great longevity. It's not the most expensive fragrance. It's like maybe $60 I paid for it, so it's not cheap, but it's not crazy expensive, so you can definitely respray if you want to, but yeah, that was just me. I found that it didn't have the best longevity, and it definitely has it's like sillages closer to the body. Okay, let's go ahead and read a few reviews. Somebody says, unfortunately, I only smell violet and hairspray from this. It's very light too, and I'm very sensitive to the smell and scents in general. Was hoping for a more powdery, creamy note as it features ylang ylang and iris, but not in the sample that I got of it, at least. So yeah, it's definitely more like very much more of a dry powder. It's not really creamy. So I can understand some people might not like this. It might make them feel like they have to sneeze, kind of thing. Somebody else says this is a god tier perfume. In my book's initial spray was an exact match to the Gazuko brand lychee gummies, which might be one of the most perfect scents of all time. I'm trying to figure out what else they're saying. I was getting an overwhelming amount of florals, specifically the jasmine and heliotrope, maybe worsened by the peach. But I'm not particularly fond of peach. However, the violet at the base of the scent is so lovely. It reminds me of a young granddaughter at the Cuban Aruba Abuela Classic Royal Violets. Yeah, I don't know. They're making a lot of references that I don't know. But anyway, they liked it. Somebody else says, Hanamachi is a lovely powder scent that combines youthful notes with agar wood. It reminds me of an opening to my grandmother's makeup cabinet and smelling the powdery fragrance and floral aromas. While it leans towards a more mature fragrance, there's a youthful sweetness that lingers in the background. I agree. That review makes a lot of sense. It does kind of smell like powdery grandma closet, but not in like a super dated way. Like, I don't know, it still has like a bit of a modern touch for being, so old school, if that makes any sense. But so that's my review of Hanamachi by Jason. I really do like it. I'm interested if any of you have smelled it. I'm hoping that some people might find my review because they're like trying to figure out if anybody's made a review. Well, I have made a review, so I hope you enjoy. Okay, everybody, I'm sending you